Many people ask, when you put the veneers on, can things get underneath and rot the tooth? And that's an interesting question. You see that line around the tooth where the veneer is going to sit on? That's the finishing line or the margin that the dentist has created. So the veneer has to fit 100% in that margin. It should sit there like this. If there's a bit of a gap, yes, things can get inside. You might get a cavity. You might lose the tooth. You don't want that. So it's important to go to a practitioner that's very experienced, because a lot of work that's done, you don't know what's going to happen in the future until it happens, until you get the cavity. You can see in this video how nicely and neatly the veneers are sitting, but only with magnifying loupes or microscopes we can check and make sure where the tooth meets the veneer or the crown, there is absolutely no gap and no ledge and no step basically. These are lingual braces. These braces are toward your tongue, so it doesn't look too bad from the outside. You can't really see them. The thing about them is placing them is very hard. They annoy your tongue so much and they can cause a bit of scarring in there, but it is good for people who don't want their braces to show. The other option would be Invisalign. More often when we remove the braces, we see lots of cavities around the bracket in a shape of rectangular or triangle. And that people would blame us as practitioners because of those cavities, or they would blame the braces itself. But the reality is that you didn't clean around the brackets well, and food got stuck around it for long and started creating cavities. It didn't go under the bracket because there was cement there. To close this gap, the dentist is measuring how much the gap is and how much to add to each tooth, not to move the midline. Then they're adding composite to the tooth, which is a polymer, and it works like a glue. We use a polymerizing light to polymerize it and make it harden, and then we polish it and make. This procedure is called enameloplasty. We are basically changing the shape of your enamel very gently in a way that the tooth doesn't get damaged, you don't need any injections or needles, and it's just going to change the shape of the tooth very slightly. For example, if there are small chips and broken edges that you don't want to fill, you don't want to place a veneer on, you just want to change it slightly to make it look a little bit better. Composite edge bonding is when the dentist adds composite to the edges of your teeth to make them look different. For example, in this case, she's having more square and longer teeth without all those broken edges.
I haven't even brushed my teeth yet this morning, and I brush my teeth like once a day. Oh, my secret is I make my own toothpaste. You just need these 4 things right here. So you're gonna mix bentonite clay with some baking soda, and then add some hydrogen peroxide.
That's where I have a problem with this. Making your own toothpaste. Hydrogen peroxide is for teeth whitening, but if you use it every single day, you're gonna get sensitivity eventually the older you get. Bicarbonate is very gritty. Look at it in this video. It's very gritty and it's gonna remove a layer of enamel eventually, showing the dentine inside, which will make your teeth look actually more yellow. It's not to be used every day. Dental cleaning. Haven't had a clean in a while. There's a big chunk of calculus and tartar hardened in between the teeth, and when it's removed, it's going to cause bleeding because the gum is inflamed. It's not the dentist that's making the bleeding, it's your oral hygiene. I floss and brush every day, but why do I still get calculus? First of all, if they're this hard, you haven't had a dental cleaning done in a long time. Secondly, they come from your own saliva. You can't really prevent them. Dental polishing. Using a gritty paste, the dentist is polishing the surface of the teeth with this brush that goes slightly under the gum, as you can see, and it cleans very well and leaves the surface smooth so bacteria can get attached. If you don't floss and brush regularly, you'll get this. Gum disease or gingivitis, puffy, red, angry gum is a sign of unhealthy gum. If you floss and it bleeds, it's not the floss, it's your oral hygiene.